USA vs Uzbekistan score. Highlights as scoreline betrays drab USMNT performance in Gregg Berhalter return. Gregg Berhalter made his return as USMNT head coach in a 3-0 friendly win over Uzbekistan. As Timothy Weah scored early while the pair of Ricardo, Pepi and Christian Pulisic finished it off late. That's about all you can say positive about the United States, though. Weah's fourth-minute goal put the U.S. in front, but until the late stoppage time double that eased the scoreline, it was ugly from the hosts. After an 8-month span in which interim head coaches Anthony Hudson and BJ Callahan had this team clicking, Berhalter's return brought with it a drab offensive output that featured few opportunities up front. In fact, for large stretches of the match, Uzbekistan seemed the most likely to score as Matt Turner produced a host of quality saves to keep the visitors off the scoresheet. While the win is nice, there is a lot to work on. Up next is 73rd ranked Oman on Tuesday, who will bring a similar style to Minneapolis. The Sporting News is following the USA vs Uzbekistan match live, providing score updates, commentary, and highlights as they happen. Starting lineups: USA 4-3-3, right to left, 1, Turner GK, 2. Dest, 4. Richards Mackenzie, 64 foot, 13. Ream. 5, A. Robinson Lund, 81 foot, 8. McKenny Tillman, 81 foot, 6. Musa, 14. De La Torre Tessman, 35 foot, 21. Weah Aronson, 64 foot, 20. Balogun Pepi, 46 foot, 10. Pulisic. Uzbekistan 3-5-2 right to left, 1. Yusupov GK, 5. Ashurmatov Ganiv, 68 foot, 23. Alaklov, 15. Eshmuradov, 3. Alijanov, 7. Shukurov Iskandarov, 82 foot, 11. Uranov Turganbeev, 68 foot, 9. Hamrobekov, 4. Saifiv Nazroloev, 68 foot, 10. Misharapov, 14. Shamuradov Abdukalikov, 82 foot. Kickoff: Gregg Berhalter's second tenure as USMNT head coach is underway. It's his first match in charge since defeat to the Netherlands in the 2022 World Cup round of 16. It appears that City Park will not be sold out this evening, as the approximate 22,500 capacity is not expected to be reached. Not close even, with a report that only 16,000 are expected to attend. Third minute, it's a sleepy start from both teams thus far. The US has held most of the possession, but Uzbekistan are mucking up the midfield and keeping numbers behind the ball. Christian Pulisic is an early target for the US in the build-up, but he can't find a way through. Anthony Robinson blasts a shot from distance miles over the crossbar into row Z. Fourth minute, goal. USA. What a rip by Tim Weah. He opens the scoring in emphatic fashion, with an absolute howitzer from a tight angle. Christian Pulisic's ball into the penalty area is deftly brought down by Weston McKennie. And amidst pressure from no less than 4 defenders with his back to goal, he manages to hold possession and feed Juventus teammate Weah. The right winger then unleashes a laser that surprises Utkur Yusupov and ripples the net. 12th minute, Uzbekistan has hardly had a touch on the ball, with half as many passes as the United States thus far. They look to break, but Chris Richards makes an excellent sliding tackle to stop the move in its tracks. 16th minute, chance, USA. The US is continuing to cook in the attacking third, progressing forward through all channels thus far, testing Uzbekistan in every sector of the pitch. A Luca de la Torre ball from deep towards the back post finds the head of Weston McKennie, who nods it across to Folarin Balogun, and the new Monaco striker clangs a header of his own off the post. 20th minute. The US come close again as Christian Pulisic finds his left-wing partner Anthony Robinson on the overlap, and the Fulham fullback unleashes a fizzing cross that dangerously skates across the face of goal. But there's nobody home to turn it into the back of the net. Folarin Balogun was the closest to it, but he wasn't on the same page and slowed his run just before the cross came in. 23rd min, chance, Uzbekistan. Look out! Uzbekistan aren't proving much of an attacking threat, but they come ever so close to equalizing out of nowhere. Kojiakbar Alijanov marauds forward on his own, weaving through defenders from the right flank, cutting inside on his left and ripping a long-range shot that clangs the crossbar. Both teams have now struck the woodwork once each. 30th minute, ouch. Luka de la Torre collides with Austin Uranov while battling for an aerial ball. The USMNT midfielder ends up with a bloody nose, and Uranov needs treatment as well. There's a long delay as the two get cleaned up on the pitch. 33rd min, de la Torre has exited the pitch and headed down the tunnel, and Taner Tessman is being readied to come in. The Celta Vigo man didn't look concussed, and much of the attention seemed to be on his nose, so you wonder if he ended up with a facial fracture. Tessman's introduction means there are 3 FC Dallas Academy graduates on the field right now, joining Chris Richards and Weston McKennie. There's another in Ricardo Pepi on the bench as well. 40th minute, a nervy moment for the US at the back as the hosts have to defend a set piece after Weston McKennie concedes a free kick. They close down the potential goal scorers well until giving up a corner after a deflected Kojiakbar Alijanov shot. Tim Ream clears the delivery. 42nd min, Matt Turner makes a save. Eldar Shamirodov picks up a loose ball and gets on his horse. Free on goal but trailed closely by Tim Ream. His shot is low, but Turner has the angle played very well and makes an elementary stop. 45th plus 1 minute, chance, Uzbekistan. Matt Turner saves the USMNT one-on-one with Shamirodov. The Uzbekistan captain picks Tim Ream's pocket and is clean through on goal. But he takes far too long to produce a shot, and Turner closes him down before making a sensational reflex save. Halftime, USA 1-0 Uzbekistan. A decent first 45 minutes from the United States, who head into the break with a lead. But certainly not as dominant of a performance as they'd like. The hosts started very brightly, but got bogged down in possession as the half wore on. Uzbekistan grew into the game and had 2 decent counter-attack opportunities towards the end of the half, against which Matt Turner stood tall. We got the early lead, which is good, but after that, sloppy. Gregg Berhalter tells the TNT broadcast while heading into the break. A good summary, mentioning poor forward positioning as part of his short breakdown. The USMNT coach has plenty to tinker with at the half, chiefly to get his star Christian Pulisic going after a quiet first half. Kickoff, as Gregg Berhalter told us yesterday, Folarin Balogun has come off at halftime for Ricardo Pepi, with the former still yet to play for his new club AS Monaco. 49th min, Chris Richards has little option but to foul Jalaliddin Masharipov on the break, and gets the game's first yellow card for his efforts. The set piece is again dangerous from Uzbekistan, but Umar Eshmiradov's cross has nobody on the end of it. The TNT broadcast reports that Luka de la Torre has a broken nose, as we speculated earlier. Get well soon, Luka. 55th min, the US is really struggling at the moment, on both ends of the pitch. Lots of emergency defending after sloppy giveaways in midfield, while the attack appears isolated and frustrated. Tim Weah expresses some frustration to the assistant referee after a missed handball right in front of the linesman. 60th minute, in a moment emblematic of this match, Taner Tessman looks to spring Tim Weah down the right flank with a deep delivery over the top. But Weah never made the run, so the ball rolls harmlessly out for a goal kick. Just not happening for the US right now, as Uzbekistan are enjoying their time on both ends of the field. 61st min, chance, USA. Finally a chance on goal for the hosts, as Tim Weah meets a Christian Pulisic cross and attempts to flick a header across inside the far post, but his attempt goes wide. 62nd min, chance, Uzbekistan. Matt Turner is forced into another save at his near post. It's Kojiakbar Alijanov who is sprung down the right, and despite being at an extremely tight angle. He produces a decent effort, but Turner has his near post covered well, fumbling the hard-hit shot over the end line. Chris Richards and Tim Ream combined to clear the ensuing corner. Mark McKenzie and Brendan Aronson are being readied on the U.S. touchline. 63rd min. Kojiakbar Alijanov is the first Uzbekistan player booked for tripping Christian Pulisic late after the U.S. star cut onto his right foot. Tim Weah and Chris Richards are replaced as the two aforementioned U.S. substitutes enter. 73rd min. Chance, USA. Sergiño Dest nearly doubled the lead. He weaved his way through the penalty area. But at the last second, as the goal seemed to open up, his shot is deflected heroically. Dest has been bright through this game, getting forward in waves on the overlap. 78th min. Worrying for the U.S. and for Fulham, Anthony Robinson is down and receiving treatment. Hard to tell what's the matter, but a change will be made. Robinson is an incredibly important player for both club and country, and they can ill afford to lose him for any length of time. Christopher Lund will make his U.S. debut after just having his one-time switch from Denmark approved. Malik Tillman also replaces Weston McKennie. 82nd min. This game has completely ground to a halt, which won't boost any evaluation of the U.S. performance. Uzbekistan make a double change, with captain Eldar Shamirodov withdrawn. 89th min. Uzbekistan look the most likely to get a late winner, as the visitors appear to be growing into the latter stages of this game. The U.S. has been really poor this second half, and have very little going forward. 90 plus 1 minute, goal. USA. The U.S. finally have a second goal, and it's Ricardo Pepi with a vicious finish to secure the victory. Brendan Aronson produces a cutback to the top of the penalty area. And while he may have been looking for Sergiño Dest just a few steps behind, it falls to Pepi instead, who produces a blast. While the shot is placed centrally, the pace does the job. Just past the fingertips of Utkur Yusupov, who may have gotten a touch but not enough. 90 plus 4 minute, penalty, USA. Malik Tillman clowns a Uzbekistan defender at the top of the penalty area, and is clearly fouled by Umar Eshmuradov, and the referee points directly to the spot. Christian Pulisic steps up. Goal. USA. He crashes the spot kick home with Utkur Yusupov guessing correctly but unable to reach it. Full time, USA 3-0 Uzbekistan. Late goals from Ricardo Pepi and Christian Pulisic make this scoreline easier on the eyes, but make no mistake, the US did not play well this evening. Early and late goals are nice, and the highlights will be pleasing, but for much of the match, Uzbekistan troubled Matt Turner's goal more than the US did down the other end. Turner's saves kept this from being far more worrying, but the performance is problematic regardless. Any halftime adjustments that Berhalter may have made did not take effect, and issues in the build-up remained abundant. The forwards were often out of position, the team looked too reliant on width, while the defensive unit was sloppy on the ball. Improvement is clearly needed after this match regardless of the final scoreline. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.